Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's reading. Of course, you know me as the Shadow Seeker, and in this video, I will be doing a general tarot reading for my beautiful collective that I channel every Wednesday. And we are going to start out with the What's the Vibe deck. I've already shuffled, and a few cards have came out. And I am feeling a lot of intense energy already from the collective. I still actually feel a lot of integration energy from the previous reading. So if you haven't checked that reading out yet, please feel free to do so. There's a lot of divine, esoteric, higher messages from spirit, your ancestors, your soul tribe, whatever it is that you connect with. So without further ado, we're going to start this particular reading. So, as I always say in previous readings, I never have the intention of these oracle cards coming out in the reverse position. And so, anytime it does come out, I always feel like it's really such a big deal when it comes out in the reverse position. But we have our opening card that says apology, and it's in the reverse position. And the messages says arrogant, rash actions, insincere. So I'm really feeling this heavy energy for many people in the collective that may be at some sort of disagreement or wit's end or some sort of separation phase with a particular individual. This may look like a high level soulmate or twin flame or some other divine connection, but I'm just feeling a lot of animosity, a lot of strained energy. And it really feels as if spirit is really urging you or really wanting you to come to a place of forgiveness and forgive this other individual or open space in your heart. I'm really feeling a lot of closed heart chakra energy or a lot of guarded energy around the heart chakra. And it really feels like spirit is wanting you to really open your heart to this other person and come to a place of forgiveness, because in doing so, it's going to continue allowing that integration that we talked about in the previous reading. But in not doing so, it's going to cause a lot of delays or hindrances in the 3D. So it's really important to really trust your instincts here. Of course, I'm not telling you, if you don't feel divinely guided, to make amends with this other individual, but it really feels like spirit is wanting you to do so. So again, that's up to you. You have free will. You're the conscious creator of your life. So it's definitely how you want to go about doing this that feels natural and safe for you. But we have the vacay card, and I'm feeling two distinctive threads of energy here. It says get away, relax, have fun. So I'm sensing that there is this physical distance between you and this particular person. But I'm also sensing that you may have felt guided to distance yourself or do something that will take your mind off this particular connection, because I feel like it's been weighing really heavily on you. So I'm also feeling this energy that this particular person may be trying to come back in some aspect, or you might be seeing small levels of communication with this particular individual. And you may feel guided to continue creating that distance between you and this person. And if you feel guided to do so, definitely, trust your instincts here, trust your guides. But it really does feel like with this card, in a sense, you're running away from the problem instead of addressing it head on. Now we have the trapped card, and this card says stuck, no options, unforgiveness. And it came out paired with the envy card, which says resentful, competitive discontent. So I'm just really feeling a lot of, I'm not sure why I want to say diluted energy, but it feels like a lot of misconstrued type of energy, a lot of misunderstandings. a lot of jealousy, but that might be for a small number in the collective. But what I'm really feeling is this energy of something really weighing you down in this particular connection, some 3D aspect of the connection that's really weighing you down or making you really feel like you're not really being supported at the present time. And that's showing up really heavily in your heart space, in your heart chakra. So I really do sense that there might be several chakra centers that are blocked or really need a lot of clearing at the present moment. So, whatever mindfulness practices you perform, I definitely suggest doing those. I feel like that will definitely open space for you to be able to forgive. And another thing about forgiveness, too, forgiving is not really for the other person, it's really for you. But we won't get all deep into that right now. I really feel like a lot of you do know how to come from a place of forgiveness, but it feels as if you're choosing the latter. You're choosing not to. And that's your prerogative. You don't have to forgive this person. You don't have to forgive what is perceived to be a wrong. But it does also feel like, energetically speaking, it feels like there has been this extreme disconnect between you and this other person. And so I really sense that it's showing up in many different ways in the 3D in a negative connotation. So I'm definitely feeling a lot of heavy energy right now. So it's really, really prolific right now. Okay, so we have the Soul Whisper card, and it says your soul is whispering its deepest desires and truths to you. In the quiet moments, listen closely. It's guiding you toward your authentic path. Aside from that direct message, I'm really sensing here that you're continuing this soul's journey or this soul's mission of integration at the present moment. And it really is requiring you to reassess certain connections in your life that may be obstructing spiritual expansion and growth for you right now. So you might be reassessing or reaffirming certain connections at the present moment. You might be deciding for yourself what's truly best for you right now in terms of certain friendships or certain meaningful connections in your life. And that's going to look really different for everyone too. So if you feel guided to release toxic relationships that no longer serve you, then that's definitely your prerogative at the present moment. But it does feel like this strong thread of energy of spirit or your highest self or guides or ancestors, whomever you may connect with through source. It really feels like they are wanting you to forgive this other person or this other party at the present moment. So, again, you have free will. It's up to you on how you want your life to look in the 3D. Okay, so switching to the tarot, we have here the Page of Pentacles in the upright position. I'm feeling really heavily right now that there may be some sort of new opportunity for growth on the horizon. The more you continue your pursuit of integration, integrating this new spiritual energy during your soul's journey right now. And there's this opportunity that's going to be presenting itself to strengthen a bond between you and someone that you're at a distance with. But the thing is, I'm seeing that you're not embracing this new experience to be able to work through certain challenges in the physical and to continue evolving and growing together. Because right now it feels as if your heart is really closed off with the Page of Cups in the reverse position. So there could be a lot of immaturity when it comes to you and this other individual. It really feels like both parties here, but there's a strong energy thread of someone here feeling very overwhelmed by their emotions, which is leading to a lot of negative behavior and reactions in the 3D. And so this could be really contributing to this particular dynamic here where you guys are not seeing eye to eye or you're not on the same page right now. There's also a strong thread of energy here where you could be missing certain signs right now or not really trusting your intuition when it comes to how to deal with this particular situation with this other person. And there's a heavy thread of energy where it feels like someone is having difficulty expressing emotions, which is leading to a lot of misunderstandings and frustration in the 3D. So, if you want to, because you are the conscious creator of your life, only you can create a healthy and fulfilling relationship by taking the time to understand your own emotional needs and being able to communicate them effectively with the other person, the other party. But you have to come about it in a mature way. And the thing about these pages here, by the way, I had seen 1111 just now, which is really kind of weird that I just saw that, but it's not really weird, but it's definitely a synchronicity. But before I got distracted, what I wanted to say is this card serves as a reminder that in order to foster healthy emotional growth, communication is very essential for facilitating a healthy relationship. So it may be time, you may be feeling guided, but you might be feeling blocked at the same time to have a conversation with this person or this party to see how you both can improve on working your communication skills with each other to try to work out what it is that's going on in the 3D. And I feel like many of you are really intuitive. So I feel like a lot of you really are seeing a lot of signs and synchronicities about this particular connection. And there also feels like there's this thread of energy where it seems like time is really essential when it comes to facilitating something or mending something within this particular connection. So that could be really important for someone here. Now, for our final card, we have the Knight of Cups in the reverse position. And definitely the strongest thread of energy here is someone is really emotional, someone is really moody, someone is really in their feelings when it comes to something in this particular connection. And it feels really heavy, it feels really disorienting, it feels very cloudy. It feels like someone's not making sound judgment when it comes to certain courses of action in this particular connection. So it just feels really like this stuck, stagnant energy. So normally these readings on Wednesday are usually a little bit longer than normal, but I'm really getting a lot of heavy messages and downloads here. But I feel a lot of the messages are very similar to what already came out in the previous reading before this one. So I definitely recommend that everyone who feels like something from this particular reading resonates, I definitely feel like you need to check out the previous video because I feel like it's going to have a lot more messages that will help you understand what is really truly going on here with this particular person and this connection. But to close this reading, we have the Three of Wands, the Page of Wands, and the Eight of Wands all in the upright position at the bottom of the deck. So something is going to be moving really quickly for you, but it feels like it's going to be in the 5D before you see any sort of changes in the 3D. I really feel like you are on the right path, spiritually speaking, but there is this particular connection that is really weighing on you right now that is really obstructing a lot of what's going on here. And so In order to expand, it might be essential for you to reaffirm or readdress what's going on here in the 3D with this particular connection. It might be time to figure out whether or not this is a point where you need to either forgive this person or try to move on in order to foster spiritual growth and expansion. So, once again, I feel guided to end the reading with a Rumi quote. So, the Rumi quote here is about forgiveness, and it's a small quote. It says, "Don't grieve. Anything you lose comes round in another form." I love this quote because this one really speaks to the deeper trust between forgiveness, stating that letting go doesn't mean lack, but transformation. What we release through love always returns in a purer form. And that's what this integration really feels like for the collective. You may not see it yet, but I do feel the more you expand, the more you grow spiritually, and the more you transform during this transformational period of your life, it really feels that you will come to a place of peace and harmony internally. And in doing so, you'll start seeing that in 3D aspects of your life. So, we're going to conclude the reading here. I know it is a little bit shorter than the typical readings that we do every Wednesday, but this felt like a really direct message, and it felt like a continuation of the previous video. So if something did connect with you here, I'd love to hear from you in the comments, or please let me know in person. And I am definitely sending you lots of love, light, and happiness. I do hope you have a wonderful remainder of your day, and I will definitely see you in the next episode.